Welcome to Up Close and Personal with Angela on behalf of Aspiring Authors Magazine, brought to you by the Crew Podcast. I tell you, I am excited to be able to share these amazing authors that are trailblazing, and I'm telling you, they are paving the way for so much to come after them. I tell them, I've been so Woo! I tell you, I've been so overjoyed just sitting here, just being able to just take in all of what these amazing individuals are doing. They have allowed their voices to speak through their writing and sharing a piece of them and creating and leaving a legacy. And that's what it's all about. And I'm excited to share this individual with you guys today. Michelynn Moss, she's from Tennessee, originally from New Jersey. She's been a part of a couple of anthologies that I put out. And this year, I am looking forward to seeing her put out her own solo projects. And I'm just excited for her because she's definitely creating and leaving a legacy for those beautiful babies, those grandbabies of hers. And I'm going to move out the way and allow her to come up and share just a little bit about herself, introduce, and then we're gonna jump into the conversation. I tell you, um, can't nobody tell your story like you. So I gotta move out the way and allow her to come on and tell her story. Miss Michelynn, how are you?
Good, good. And yourself?
I can't complain. I won't complain. There's no need to.
Oh, yeah. Well, hello, everybody. Once again, I bring you greetings from Memphis, Tennessee. My name is Michelynn Missy Moss. I'm a best selling author and poet. I'm a wife, mother, and grandmother. I like traveling. I love to cook and try out different recipes. I love dancing. That's one of my favorite things to do. And I'm just very happy to be here today.
Wow. So, what made you get into becoming an author? And first, um, are you a traditional author or are you a self-published author?
Self published with the help of you and other collaborations and anthologies that I've been in. We went the self publishing route. Yes.
So, what has inspired you to become an author and share a piece of you with the world?
Well, one story I don't know if I've told to too many people is that when I was a little girl, I really loved reading, and one of my favorite books or series to read used to be Little House on the Prairie with Laura Ingalls Wilder. And the librarian knew I had a passion for reading, and she would call me to the library when new books came in to read. And I've also told this story and said I thought like I was a big shot because the other kids in my class only could take out one book and I had two. And I always had a dream at that time that I wanted to be in books, like I loved having them, holding them, reading them. I read something the other day of the way the book smelled, especially like a new book. So I think, back then it was something that I aspired to do, but I didn't know how. I never researched it. I didn't ask any questions. I didn't know anyone around me. Who published the book. So I just thought it was, something that was never going to happen. And I spoke of me enjoying poetry, which my brother introduced me to that. I also spoke of how my grandfather read or would recite Psalms and Proverbs to us. So, how I got into it was a friend of mine. She now lives in Georgia, but we met in new members class in New Jersey. And they had a Baptist convention in Memphis, and my preacher came down, and he just told me like, oh well, her name is Angela as well. He said, did you know like Angie, she wrote a book and she got married and different things. And I was real new to Facebook at that time. So I went on, I looked her up, and she was doing a collaboration. It's called Wake Up Girlfriends. And so I was debating and debating, and really because I was scared. I'm like, what if people don't like it, or am I saying the right thing? But God put in my spirit to just go for it. So I told her I wanted to do it, and then she made flat flyers of the individual women that were in the book. And so when she posted it, I was like, oh my God, I'm really gonna have to do this now, so I did it, and when the book came in the mail and I saw myself in it, it just brought me back to being a little girl of hey, one day I want to be in a book and I want somebody to read my words. So that's where it started. And then I started joining different author pages on Facebook and Instagram. And so then I came across Miss Vanessa Blackwell, and the second book, which also was a collaboration, was called Finding Joy in the Journey. And then I ended up coming across you, and I just was like, well, I'm gonna try this out and get my words on paper. And again, if I can inspire someone, if I can share my testimony with somebody, and it helps them, or they see that it's a way out of a bad situation. I wanted to do it, so I was just like, well, let me try these different collaborations and anthologies. And yeah, as you said, now it's time for me to do my own, because thus far I believe I've been in like 18 of them. So I know my friends are waiting. I did write a children's book that I probably wrote like 2 years ago. I just didn't have an illustrator. And I want to do that with my granddaughters, to tell their story about how their father lost his sight. And so I just feel like this is my year. I just wanted to, have my feet planted 10 toes down, learn a little bit about the writing world and publishing and editing. And so now I do believe that I'm ready. I think God's been telling me, it's other things I just have wrote and kept it to myself. But I think I'm ready to step out on faith and really just do my own project.
I truly do think it's time.
Well, I'm going to
So,
be,
what
go ahead.
has been one of your proudest moments since becoming an author?
Well, of course, the first time, because it was all new, and we had a group book signing in Atlanta, and had a little fashion show and like a party and a DJ, and I had my family there, and so that's something that I'll never forget. I think too. When I go back and read certain things that I wrote, and sometimes I'm like shocked, like, oh, I wrote that. But I think another proud moment was me doing a mental health book during a pandemic, called Confinement Chronicles, of just dealing with that during that time. And that was kind of the time that my son went blind. So I needed it for myself. So I can always go back and reflect with that. And another thing I wrote called, again, a collaboration, I Testify on Purpose, because, and I think that that was like another book that at a time in my life when we had grief. I lost a grandson. He was 44 days old. And so it kind of was a release and it helped me to get through the grief. But I'm basically proud, of everything because I knew that I had the fear, and each time that I conquered that, I'm basically proud of what I put out there.
Awesome, awesome. So, um, what has this journey really been like? I know we get the project out, and then what? So, what have you been doing to build a brand for yourself and to build awareness to your message and what you want people to take away from your brand?
I believe basically, by doing collaborations and there's a certain subject, if I don't feel like it fits me, I don't do it. But it just builds me being closer to God and certain things that I wrote. It also, certain things were fun, which, times where, you need to laugh before you cry. So I just think that the journey was, well, this is what's going on, and I can relate to that, or I have a story to tell, be it myself, or it could have been a family member of something that we went through. And so I just like base it on that. I want it to be positive. I want it to be empowering. I want it to be a thing where, if you're going through something and you need to be free or you don't know how to release it, this is a way for me, painting a picture for someone else and they can read it and maybe take something away from it, share it with somebody else. So basically, I just want positivity, empowerment. Another thing, there were times that I didn't really love myself. I wanted, my journey to be about love, not having insecurities, knowing who you are, knowing that black girls rock, So I just want whoever reads my words to know that there's somebody out there that went through something you went through, and it may not even be my story. It could just be another person that's in the collaboration and anthology. And I'm just like praying, and I hope that just the books itself would touch somebody and they can take something away from it that would, bring them peace, bring them understanding, bring them knowledge, bring them wisdom, and, most importantly, love. And all of that comes from focusing on God. And, you know, He tells me to move. And when He says move, then that's what I do.
Awesome, awesome. That is amazing. Creating and leaving a legacy.
Yeah.
We talked about you wanting to create and leave a legacy for your grandchildren.
Yes.
I actually had an opportunity to interview your son and your grandbaby that plays basketball.
Yes.
Um, I think that would be great. You guys doing that book project together.
Yes.
I think that would be great. What does legacy look like for you, and what would you like for people to remember Michelynn by?
Legacy for me is, for one thing, breaking generational curses, and that's something that I really set out to do every day. Even before there were any books. Um, Legacy also is just knowing your strength, looking back at our ancestors and seeing where they pulled us up. And so it's time for me to pull somebody else up. What I really want people to remember about me is that, I worked hard, dedicated, always was there for my family and my friends. I am a loving, kind person, and it's just like if you need something, or I could be there in spirit, be there physically. If you need something to eat, whatever, I'm gonna try to do it. So I just want them to know about my strength, because with having children and disabilities and different things that's going on, surviving domestic violence and surviving, just being friends with women that you thought were your friends and they weren't. That was something that was hard for me to overcome. So I also want them people to know that I'm an overcomer, and if I can just plant that seed to say, hey, you're better than that, you're beautifully and wonderfully made, just tap into who you are. And if I can be a vessel or a tool to do that, that's what I would like to do, and I'm trying to do.
Wow. Well, you're definitely doing that. You're definitely leaving your blueprint and your anthologies and sharing um, different things. You're sharing your testimonies. You're sharing things that have worked for you, things that you have overcame, and how you have overcame these things. So you're definitely on the right path, and I thank you. It takes a special person to be able to be transparent and to be able to share. So thank you for all that you do. Um, what inspired you to join this 100 authors movement?
Well, one thing I don't know if it was called a collaboration there, but I've also spoke of my brother and the Harlem Renaissance, and I just felt like together togetherness is better sometimes than being alone. I think that like sharing different experiences and stories and just your life collectively is, it's a great thing. So I just wanted to be a part of the voices that are willing and able and are excited about sharing, their words. So I wanted to be a part of it because I felt like it
So
was.
what are some of the things that you would what are some of the things that you would like to achieve through this movement that you would like to see happen?
Well, I want to be encouraged, which I have been, to actually do my own project because I have seen, other ladies and gentlemen who may have been in a collaboration and then they broke out and did their own thing. So that's very inspiring to me. Um, just looking at them as a blueprint for me to get started. I know that I can reach out within this group and ask questions and, get suggestions or times that I'm down or I feel like I got writer's block. I feel like this group, this community, these brothers and sisters will help to, pull me through and lift me up and get me to where I need to go. So that's why I also wanted to be a part of it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So for that person that may be tuned in today, that may have thought about joining the anthology or writing their own book, what would you say to that person today to encourage them to go ahead and make 2025 that year for them to get that book out?
Well, there's times that I have also quoted, Nike's slogan, just do it. You do. You just have to do it. I think that we already know what's in us and we run from it or we avoid it, but it's there. It's staring you in your face. It's, quote unquote, like nagging you. But if you know that you want to write, don't be afraid. If God told you to do it, Don't be afraid. Again, that's a way to leave your legacy for yourself, for your family. So I would just say step out on faith and just put on the full armor of God and just go for it. Just do what He has planned for your purpose, and just don't be afraid. Just let all that go, and just go for it. Just do it.
Outside of your solo project that we can look forward to in 2025, what else can we look forward to seeing you do?
Well, as we were talking about, with my granddaughter and her sports, I want to, well, all my sons, I was always the soccer mom, the football mom. I'm going to be more involved in that. I'm a marriage officiant, so I would hope to, marry some people in 2025. My son has a clothing line, which I help him with, different designs and stuff of that. So I'm going to be more diligent with that. Also, I'm going to be more involved um, in the community of the visually impaired. Um, I have been involved in the domestic violence community, and I just want to do, if it's something new that God lays on my heart for me to do, I'm gonna be doing that now. Like if it's something new, if it's something old that I need to just bring to the forefront, I am. But basically, I just want to do things that are gonna help others, bring them forward, encourage. So those will be the things that I'm gonna be doing this year.
Well, I look forward to seeing all that you're doing and hopefully getting to support some of the things that you're doing. How can we follow and stay connected to you so that we can see what you're doing?
Well, you can follow me basically on all social media, either Michelynn Moss or author Michelynn Moss. I'm still building my website, so I will keep everyone updated on that. But basically, you can follow me at Michelynn Moss.
All right, all right, all right. Well, I thank you. I want to thank you for stopping by and sharing with us on today. I tell you, it's always a great time to have you here and to catch up with what you're doing. Um,
Well, I appreciate it, and I thank you because um, you've encouraged me so much, and you've given me strength and motivation, and just by you having the different collaborations, and it helped me to be stronger, and it helped me to have more courage and faith within myself to do it. So I take my hat off to you, and thank you so much for all your love.
well, thank you, and I can't wait to see what 2025 have in store for you. Um, is there anything that you would like to leave with the listeners before we end this interview on today?
I would just say, lean on God, trust in Him, listen to Him because we hear Him, but we don't always listen. Follow your dreams, follow your hearts. Don't let any naysayers, haters, or whatever, jealous people, whatever you want to call them, like tune them out and just be the person that God designed you to be. And that's what I would leave them with.
Well, y'all heard it from Michelynn Missy Moss. And I can tell you, look forward to all that she has in store for 2025. Again, I want to thank you for stopping by on today. You have a great rest of your evening.
Okay, thank you.
And I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, y'all, we'll be back In the 4 o'clock hour, we're gonna have Cheryl Northern LeGrand in the building. So y'all come back and share with me the 4 o'clock hour. See you then.